No way this just happened. After all the hype, after all the excitement we had from Media Day regarding Emoni Bates, a new report, a new injury update has been revealed, and it is very, very brutal for the Cavs prospect. And this has serious implications for the Cavs roster here now at this point, because there were some serious debates going on about who will be in the rotation for this Cavs team, particularly at that backup forward position. And now with Emoni Bates dealing with an injury after all the work he put in this summer to improve his game, after all the work he put into his body to put in on all that muscle, he has suffered a serious setback in regards to his ability to crack the Cavaliers rotation and keep things rolling on that front. So we'll break down the injury update, what it means for the Cavaliers, and frankly, what we should expect from this Cleveland Cavaliers team tonight as basketball ends up returning. But before we dive into any of that, folks, again, Cavs basketball is back. You want to stay up to date with it all, and you're part of the 88% that haven't hit the subscribe button just yet. Make sure you guys hit that sub button so you don't miss a single thing that's going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers, because we're breaking down it all here on Cavs Digest. But let's dive into the news, because I feel like this is something that got overlooked. It wasn't talked about a ton by the Cavs media and stuff. Woj is reporting some reporting stuff pretty quick here now at this point. But we did get an unfortunate update from Emoni Bates himself, as he tweeted out that I had a slight tear in my meniscus and got surgery today, and everything went well. Thanks to the most high up. He's appreciating. He says he's going to return sooner and better. So basically, we got an update from Emoni Bates there, and as I mentioned in the intro, this couldn't have come at a more unfortunate time, because right now is the time of year where Emoni Bates had his shot to impress new head coach Kenny Atkinson, to be able to come out here and earn his spot, earn his minutes in the rotation. And after putting on all that weight, after improving his game, improving his passing, doing different things over the course of the summer to really get to that level where he could be a reliable player for the Cleveland Cavaliers, is now obviously going to miss a stretch of games, which hinders the development and all that type of stuff, but most importantly, misses his chance to get actual reps. Because everyone knows the Cleveland Cavaliers are in a position right now to be a win-now team. This team wants to get some W's, wants to win this season. So to reintegrate a young player that, again, is, for all of his talents, for everything that he can provide to this team, is a tougher piece to really integrate, given the fact how he is a bit of a ball stopper. He is a player that is more, needs the ball in his hands to be effective, right? It's going to be tough to integrate him in midway through the season. So now you don't get those reps of training camp. You don't get those reps of preseason to have Emoni Bates, get integrated in this lineup and really compete with the Dean Wades of the world, with the Okoros of the world, and Georges Niangs of the world to actually get those minutes. And unfortunately, this isn't going to be the case. And I know the fans are split because, again, his stats are a bit all over the place, because again, he's 6'10", has the intangibles, he's put on a ton of weight, so he's no longer 170 pounds. That's outdated here now at this point. Only averaged 3 points per game last season for the Cavaliers. Again, not a lot of run, and not the most efficient shooting either, right? 30% of the 3-point line, 15 games. We didn't get a big sample size of Emoni Bates. Most of the minutes and games that he got was in garbage time last season, but again, we saw Emoni Bates put on that muscle during the training camp, during all this stuff, and people were just excited to see him be able to get back out there on the court, to be able to integrate himself into this team. And now we're missing out on one of these guys that was going to be one of the major storylines entering preseason and the start of this year. But this does have serious implications now on what the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to be able to do in terms of their lineups, in terms of their rotations, because we can look at the depth chart. Obviously, we know the starting lineup. It's going to be Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell. Max Strus is probably going to remain the starter at the 3 position. Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen. Definitely 4 of the 5 of that starting lineup is guaranteed locks. And then, at that 3 position, this is where things were a little bit more variable. Obviously, Emoni Bates wasn't going to be a starter on this team. Max Strus makes a ton of sense. It's a spot-up shooter, plays defense, all that type of stuff. But now you have, and again, the Cavs are fortunate enough to have some decent forward depth with Karis LeVert, with Isaac Okoro, with Dean Wade, and dare I say Georges Niang. That's what they have on the depth chart. But again, I don't think we expect a lot of minutes coming this season for Niang. As likable as a person he is, the defense and different stuff out there on the court has soured a few Cavs fans there now at this point. But the guy that probably gets the most boost from this here now at this point is Jalen Tyson, who we've also talked about in a recent video in regards to his promise to Cleveland Cavaliers fans, how he wants to show this team why he was selected in the first round, why, Cavs may have went a little reach on him, why he was brought into this Cavs team to be a versatile sort of scorer player for this roster. And again, that's definitely for the best, that he's going to get some opportunities, get some more minutes and stuff, but that's going to be more at the 3 position. The other guy that's going to benefit most is Dean Wade, because again, Emoni Bates, we saw it. He's a 6'10 sort of forward. He can come out there, be effective. He didn't have a lot of strength. He was scoring on the wings and stuff. But now with extra muscle, he had the opportunity to really establish himself as that backup power forward for this team. I thought, Okoro, Caris LeVert, Tyson, all be guys that could hold it down. And Merrill, when he's still on the roster, I know the Cavs just traded his G League rights, so that's something we could talk about later. But basically, Emoni Bates is going to compete with Dean Wade for that backup power forward position. And the Cavs are thinner in the front court, right? Looking at the center spots, yes, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen can both play the 5. But beyond that, again, Tristan Thompson is a nice insurance piece. Glad he's out there on the roster, but isn't someone you want to be relying upon night in, night out to be your real key centerpiece at the backup position for your team. So Dean Wade and Emoni Bates are going to be fighting for those different positions, and specifically at the 4, because I imagine when Jarrett Allen's out, Evan Mobley being in the game, and vice versa, stagger the lineups despite Kenny Atkinson trying to, really play those guys together, using some different integrating strategies to make them play effectively out there on the court as one. But basically, Dean Wade is going to have to really step up and be that guy for the Cleveland Cavaliers team, because, again, we've seen him talk about it. We've seen him put more effort in on the defensive end, which is a positive, and that's one of the reasons, Emoni Bates put on that muscle, put on that strength, was to improve on the defensive end. But the thing about Dean Wade is he does fit a lot better in terms of skill set. There are a lot of ball dominant guys. There are a lot of guys that are effective in regards to, having the basketball in their hands and be able to create their shots on this Cavs roster, right? Give the ball to Garland, give the ball to Donovan Mitchell, heck, even give it to Caris LeVert. He's going to be able to create some shots, do some things out there for you, and we're hopeful that Evan Mobley, who, again, hasn't improved his handle, isn't like a Kyrie at the forward position by any stretch of the imagination, but would like to see him improve as a shot creator for this Cavs team, whether it be in the mid-range, mid-post, different areas. Again, that's going to require some development there. But Dean Wade can insert himself into different lineups and, one, space the floor. He's going to be able to give space to a Donovan Mitchell, to a Mobley, to a Jarrett Allen to go to work, to a Darius Garland. And that's a huge positive there at that point. And 2, he's not a ball stopper. He can come out there and just play within the flow of the offense and have things make sense. And that's where the debate, that's where all the battles, that's where all the Cavs fans are fighting about in regards to who's going to be playing where for this Cavs roster, in terms of lineup changes, whether it makes sense to run Emoni Bates, to run Dean Wade to get some stuff rolling. Obviously, the high upside of Emoni Bates, you want to give him a shot, especially during preseason, right? And that's kind of the opportunity, especially when he's put in the work visually, over the course of the offseason to earn that opportunity, to earn those minutes. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see it now at this point. So again, Dean Wade's going to get that opportunity at the forward position. Jalen Tyson's going to benefit at the wing position. They're going to play Emoni Bates at a lower point. But what does this mean for Emoni Bates' career? Well, again, I think he will get his opportunity at some point. I don't think you have a talent like that, and then you're just going to, see him with an injury and then never give him a shot once again, even if the Cavs are trying to win all of the games that they can possible. Obviously, there's still holes in Emoni Bates' game in regards to being a facilitator, being able to pass, doing different stuff out there on the basketball court to improve the team other than scoring. Obviously, he's going to have to improve in those areas, but not being able to play training camp and losing these crucial moments of development being a young guy out there in the NBA is going to be a massive blow in terms of at least his opportunities to, be a player out there for the Cavs roster in the short term. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this Emoni Bates injury. Again, if you're part of the 88% that haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, make sure you guys hit that sub button so you don't miss a single thing that's going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.